Inside a federal courtroom in Oakland, California, one of the most important battles in the AI industry is unfolding in public. Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman and OpenAI for more than $130 billion. And this is not just another corporate lawsuit. At the center of the case is a question that could shape the future of artificial intelligence itself. Did OpenAI abandon the mission it originally promised to follow? Or was this transformation inevitable from the very beginning? Because what started as a non-profit research lab has now become one of the most powerful companies on Earth. And now, former allies are turning on each other. Under oath, the courtroom testimony, the leaked emails, the internal messages, all of it is exposing how the modern AI industry was really built. Not through idealism alone, but through power struggles, money, fear, and control. And the deeper this trial goes, the stranger the story becomes. According to testimony and court documents, Microsoft executives once believed OpenAI had almost no value at all. Some former OpenAI insiders have accused Sam Altman of manipulation and dishonesty. And Elon Musk, according to testimony presented in court, allegedly wanted tighter personal control over the company as it evolved. This is no longer just a disagreement between tech billionaires. It is a fight over who gets to shape the most powerful technology of the 21st century. And to understand why this lawsuit matters so much, you have to go back to the beginning. OpenAI launched in late 2015. As a non-profit research organization, its public mission sounded almost utopian. Build advanced artificial intelligence safely and make sure no single corporation or individual controls it. Elon Musk helped fund the project in its early days, so did several other major investors and researchers. At the time, the idea was simple. AI was becoming too important to leave entirely in the hands of giant tech corporations. But almost immediately, reality started colliding with the mission. Training advanced AI systems required massive amounts of money, computing power, and infrastructure. The nonprofit structure simply could not keep up. So in 2019, OpenAI introduced what it called a capped profit model. The company argued that it still wanted to prioritize safety and public benefit, while also attracting enough capital to compete. But critics saw something else happening, a gradual shift away from the original promise, and according to Musk's lawsuit, that shift eventually crossed a line, especially after OpenAI reportedly converted parts of its commercial structure into a public benefit corporation in 2025. Musk's legal team argues that OpenAI transformed itself into a profit-driven empire while still benefiting from the reputation and protections of its nonprofit roots. In other words, they claim the company used an idealistic mission to build trust and then evolved into something very different. And the financial stakes are staggering. The lawsuit reportedly seeks damages estimated between $130 billion and $150 billion, not millions, billions. But when Sam Altman took the stand, he pushed back hard against Musk's version of events. According to courtroom reporting, Altman portrayed Musk as someone who increasingly wanted control over the organization as OpenAI became more valuable. Altman testified that Musk believed he should personally direct major decisions inside the company. And one of the most talked about moments in the trial involved a conversation about succession. Altman claimed that when discussions turned to what would happen if Musk controlled OpenAI and later stepped away, Musk suggested that control could potentially pass to his children. That testimony immediately became one of the defining moments of the case. Because OpenAI's founders originally said they wanted to avoid concentrating advanced AI power in the hands of any single person, the idea of treating AGI, artificial general intelligence, like a hereditary asset reportedly alarmed several people involved at the time, and tensions only grew from there. According to testimony, Musk later pushed for OpenAI to become more closely connected with Tesla. When disagreements continued, Musk eventually left the organization in early 2018. He also stopped providing financial support. Court exhibits reportedly included private messages discussing the possibility of recruiting key OpenAI employees away to Tesla, which suggests the conflict was becoming deeply personal, long before the public ever knew about it. But the courtroom battle did not stop with Elon Musk, because Microsoft was pulled directly into the center of the story. And what came out during testimony surprised a lot of people. For years, the public narrative was simple. Microsoft saw the future of AI early, believed in OpenAI, and invested aggressively. But according to internal emails presented in court, the reality appears to have been much more complicated. Back in 2017, Sam Altman reportedly approached Microsoft asking for hundreds of millions of dollars in Azure cloud computing support. Microsoft executives debated the proposal internally, and some of them were openly skeptical. One executive reportedly said there was no value in engaging with OpenAI. Others questioned whether the company's research was truly ahead of Microsoft's Microsoft's own internal work, there were also concerns about the public image of supporting a company openly discussing machines surpassing human intelligence. Even Satya Nadella reportedly expressed uncertainty at the time about what OpenAI was actually accomplishing. So why did Microsoft eventually move forward anyway? According to testimony and internal communications, one major factor was competition. At that point, Amazon dominated cloud infrastructure, and Microsoft reportedly feared that if they rejected OpenAI, the company might partner with Amazon instead. In other words, what eventually became one of the biggest partnerships in modern tech may have started as a defensive move, not necessarily because Microsoft fully believed in OpenAI's vision, but because they were terrified of losing strategic ground, and that decision changed everything. Microsoft's investment eventually expanded into a partnership worth billions of dollars. OpenAI became one of the defining forces in the AI race, and now, Musk's legal team argues that these financial outcomes prove the organization was always moving toward a profit-centered future. But perhaps the most damaging testimony for Sam Altman came from people inside OpenAI itself. Former co-founder Ilya Sutskever reportedly described serious internal concerns about leadership and trust during the company's 2023 power struggle. Former CTO Murati also testified about periods of confusion and instability inside the organization. The broader picture emerging from the trial is not one of a perfectly unified company. It is a story of competing visions, internal distrust, and enormous pressure. And that pressure makes sense, because OpenAI is no longer a small research lab. It sits at the center of one of the largest technological shifts in modern history. Billions of dollars, global political influence, military implications, corporate dominance, all of it is now connected to AI, which is why this lawsuit matters far beyond Silicon Valley. If the court forces major changes to OpenAI's structure, the consequences could spread across the entire industry. Massive investment agreements may need to be renegotiated. Future funding models for AI companies could change, and competitors would immediately move to capitalize on the chaos. That includes Elon Musk's own company, xAI. It also includes Anthropic, another major AI lab operating under a different governance structure. But while beneath all the courtroom drama, all the headlines, and all the billion-dollar valuations, there is a much larger issue emerging. Who should control artificial intelligence? Private corporations? Governments? Nonprofits? Founders? Shareholders? No one has fully answered that question yet. And this trial may become one of the first major attempts to define those boundaries in public. If the court sides heavily with Musk, it could send a message that nonprofit missions cannot simply evolve into giant commercial empires without consequences. If OpenAI successfully defends its structure, it may validate the idea that massive scale and commercial investment are unavoidable parts of building advanced AI. Either way, the outcome will likely influence every major frontier AI company moving forward. Because the age of small experimental startups is disappearing, AI is becoming infrastructure, economic infrastructure, political infrastructure, possibly even military infrastructure. And once technologies reach that level of importance, the fight is no longer just about innovation. It becomes a fight about power. Not just a feud between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, but the deeper reality underneath the modern AI boom, the money, the fear, the struggle to control whatever comes next, because the future of artificial intelligence may not be decided in a laboratory or at a product launch, but inside courtrooms, boardrooms, and private negotiations happening far away from the public eye. And whatever happens next, the entire industry is watching.